we got some massive updates for the Baltimore Ravens, and like literally massive, because we got to talk about Michael Pierce retiring and a whole lot more. Team, keep it clean. Before we get into it, make sure you subscribe to the channel, turn notifications on so you do not miss anything. It's almost 4 p.m. Eastern time, so that's when all of these deals and all of these moves and all of these trades will become official, but then some people could also be released officially. It's just a lot going on, so let's just get straight into it. Michael Pierce. It was announced today that Michael Pierce is retiring. So I don't know if y'all remember that video from a couple of months ago when all these Ravens players was going to Michael Pierce's locker room and signing his helmet and stuff. And then I remember Marlon Humphrey quote tweeted it. He was like, I don't know why people making such a big deal over this. Because a lot of us were assuming that, oh, is Michael Pierce retiring? We hadn't heard no official announcements, anything like that. So we just kept business moving as usual. And then all of a sudden now we get hit with this right before free agency begins officially. So Michael Pierce is out, and that is a massive, huge loss for the Baltimore Ravens, literally, because that's a big boy. And Michael Pierce, he showed that he could play some football, man. And I feel like Michael Pierce was a very underrated player. Last year was, I think 2 years ago was amazing for him. Last year, it was good too. He did miss some time with injury, but Michael Pierce, when he's on that field, he is a difference maker for the Baltimore Ravens. Obviously, the most famous play that he had this past season was when he got that interception. Should have housed it, but he didn't, and it's okay. So now our interior defensive linemen, Travis Jones, Nnamdi Madubuike, Broderick Washington. So Ravens, they got a hole to fill with Michael Pierce retiring. Now, with this, and shout out to Brian McFarland, Raven Salary Cap on Twitter, because that man, all Raven Salary Cap stuff, he knows it all. He said, if the Baltimore Ravens, if they process Michael Pierce retirement before June 1st, then there will be a cap savings of $666,000 with dead money of about $2 million remaining on the cap. But he said if they wait till after June 1st, then it'll be a savings of $2 million in 2025, so this year, with the dead money only being $667,000 this year, and then $1.3 million in 2026. So if they want a little more money this year with his release, since he's retiring, then they could either dedicate it to next year after June 1st, or they could do it right here, right now. It just all depends on what they want to do. So we'll see what happens with that. Now, the Baltimore Ravens are also going to be officially releasing Marcus Williams. So look out for that notification. I'm sure we're probably going to get it like right at 4 p.m. Eastern time. Baltimore Ravens, we have released safety Marcus Williams. And then they're going to have a picture of him and stuff. So look out for that at 4 p.m. Eastern time. Also, look out for that for Arthur Maulet as well. This one actually slipped under the cracks. This was announced yesterday that the Baltimore Ravens were going to be releasing Arthur Maulet. And this, it happened like either right before or right after the DeAndre Hopkins signing. Ooh, let's go. Anyway, so Arthur Maulet, this year, he missed most of the year with injury. It was just not a good year for Arthur Maulet with the Baltimore Ravens, and they decided, you know what, we're going to move on in another direction. So who knows, could he possibly be back? Maybe, depending on how things go at training camp and whatnot, and what their cornerback situation is then and there. It's a possibility. It really is, especially because he ain't leaving on bad terms or anything like that. So we'll see what happens with Arthur Maulet. Now, we talked about the post-June 1st releases. This also is from Brian McFarland. He said, teams have 2 post-June 1st release designations that they can use as of 4 p.m. today. So if they have more than 2 players that they want post-June 1st cap treatment for, they would have to wait until after June 1st to release those other players. So a lot of people are assuming that 2 of those players that are going to be post-June 1st releases are Marcus Williams, especially since he redid his contract, and also Justin Tucker is to be determined. So we'll see how the Ravens handle that. But if anybody else, if Ravens have any other players that they want to designate as a post-June 1st release, then you got to wait until post-June 1st, and that's in a couple of months. Now, Ravens also, they got their favorite, even more picks. You know the Ravens, boy. When it comes to draft picks, well, Ravens like, give it all to me right now. Anyway, so their 2025 comp picks that they got said, as expected, the Ravens are receiving 4 comp picks. 1 in the 4th, and the 5th, and 2 in the 6th. For last year's free agent losses of Patrick Queen, him signing with the Steelers, Jadeveon Clowney, him signing with the Panthers, Geno Stone, him signing with the Bengals, and Kevin Zeitler, him signing with the Lions. So the Ravens are now slated to have 11 picks in this draft. Now, Ravens already fooled me once. I remember a couple of years ago when they had 11 picks. I'm like, I said, ain't no way Ravens gonna use all 11 picks in a draft. They ain't doing that. No way. And what did they do? They did that. They used literally every single draft pick. Every single one. All 11. And I was like, okay. Well, my fault, Ravens. And they did get some nice starters out of that draft. They got some nice depth guys. They got some depth guys that turn into starters. Then they got some guys that didn't make the team. And it happens. That's what the draft is all about. Not every single draft pick is going to hit. Not every single draft pick is even going to make the team that year. It could be the following year where they get cut or released or whatnot. But it's just the draft is a gamble, as y'all know already. But Ravens got a lot to gamble with. So they have a first-round pick, a second-round pick, a third-round pick. They have 2 fourth-round picks. They have 1 fifth-round pick, and they have 4 sixth-round picks and 1 seventh-round pick. That's a lot. I know Eric DaCosta is smiling. You hear my daughter; she's crying. She said, "I don't want to have to wait through that many draft picks during this draft." It's okay. She ain't got to watch it. I'll watch it for her. Anyway. The Ravens also, this is a nice little bonus, like literally a bonus too. The Ravens had 2 players in the top 25 for 2024 performance-based pay distributions. So based off of their performance, based off of how much time they played and them being starters and whatnot, they got nice bonuses added to their pockets. Those players were Daniel Falele. He got a little over $1 million added to his pocket. Hey, shout out to that boy Falele. Call him what you want. Say what you want about Daniel Falele, but he's smiling. When he check his bank account, he got a big smile on his face. That boy is a Pro Bowler. That boy ended up becoming a starter, and now he get an extra $1 million added to his bank account. Shout out to him. We hope for continued success for Daniel Falele, and we just hope for continued improvement as well. Because if Daniel Falele is going to be the starter, which most likely he will be because the Baltimore Ravens love them some Daniel Falele, then we just hope that he just keep on fine-tuning his game. That's it. Wish for the best. Anyway, and the other person was Darius Washington. He got but a little over $876,000 added to his bank account. So he ain't never going to complain over no extra money. That ain't never a bad thing at all. So shout out to those two. All right, so everything, y'all are up to date now. With everything that has happened with the Baltimore Ravens, y'all are up to date. So anything that happens after 4, we got y'all. I know y'all got us. I love y'all, team. Keep it clean. Again, make sure you subscribe to the channel and turn your notifications on so when anything goes down with the Ravens or really whoever, y'all stay up to date. Leave a like on the video because it helps out a lot. I will see y'all very, very soon, I'm sure, because you know them Ravens, we love to get active.